guys, we're here at Queensland Raceway for round 2 of the Performax TA2 Muscle Car Series. First round in Winton was fantastic. We're looking to see a few of the races come back. Ashley Jarvis, of course, had a fantastic weekend. Russell Wright, not so well, our defending champion from last season. Looking for him to come back here, Craig.
Yeah, Ashley came out of the blocks really quick at Winton. Pole position in 4 races was absolutely uncatchable. Craig Harris, Russell Wright didn't have the best of weekends down there. But of course, home territory, a lot of laps for both those guys around here. And they're going to be very fast. So it might be all Ashley's way this weekend. Change of car too, we should talk about. He's jumped into Peter Robinson's Dodge Challenger this weekend. And his father's taken over Ashley's car from last round. So there's a bit of a mix-up. I reckon a couple of the veterans might surprise people around here this weekend due to their knowledge and testing and laps around Queensland Raceway.
The other bone of contention, well not the bone, but the other unknown variable I guess this weekend is we're going to 12 lap races. A couple of the guys have shown a bit of interest in that. It should be interesting. We're going from 10 extra couple of laps.
Queensland Raceway, notoriously hard on brakes, and you've got to manage the tyre and the brake package in these cars. So yeah, after 8 to 9 laps, they'll be thinking about brakes, tyres. I've got to survive 4 12-lap races. The weather is an unknown this weekend. Showers and storms are potentially predicted, so could be very interesting. We've got a new Performax Masters Award for the best performing driver over 50. We can't find anybody in the paddock who will put up their hand to admit being over 50 years of age, but when you look at 10 or 12 of them, they're dead certs for that award, no question.
So another prize there for the guys out on track. We moved into qualifying on Saturday morning. We got 14 cars here this weekend. And not surprisingly, we saw a lot of the local guys who call QR their home track up near the front. The likes of Craig Harris, Russell Wright, and this man right here on screen, Ashley Jarvis. Qualifying session done for TA2, and our pole position get to Ashley Jarvis. Well done, mate.
Yeah, thanks very much. The car was nice and fast. We had a few little issues with it yesterday. We tuned it up this morning and last night, and the car was on rails in that session.
Mate, effectively the hire car. Of course, you're in the Challenger this weekend, usually driven by Pete. Pete's not here this weekend, but did a fantastic job in that qualifier.
Yeah, look, I think it's 2 a.m. in Rome at the moment. I was going to give Pete a buzz and let him know how he went, but I thought I'd let him sleep in. Look, Pete, massive thanks to Pete to let us drive his car this weekend. Lets me step aside and Dad have a go on my car, so it's pretty cool having him out there as well.
Mate, well done on a fantastic qualifier. Hopefully you carry that through the racing.
Yeah, thanks very much.
So race 1 rolled around, fantastic conditions outside. We see some car footage here from the start. Nice clean start for the guys. We saw Jarvis out in front, Russell Wright and Craig Harris slot in behind him. But it was Wright that had some issues out on track and actually managed to get it off the edge of the track here, allowing Craig Harris through. Sendell also sneaking through on that one. So 2 positions lost for Russell Wright, but it was Wright that come back through the field and contesting Craig Harris here for second spot. Jarvis still out in front. And Harris and Wright, fantastic battle on track. As we go back further in the crowd, George Coolig, great to have George on track this weekend. Put that car together in the 2 weeks leading up to the QR round, and I think had a fantastic weekend by all accounts. Just going through on Dom Dimitriadis there, but it was Harris back under Wright. Jarvis still out in front. And in-car footage here, right, these guys battled it out, but alright here, too much for Russell Wright. Locked it all up, spun it around, nearly took Harris with him on turn 4, and Harris said, thank you very much. Here's Anthony Tenkate up underneath Cameron Sendell. So it's all looking good for the guys. Here's Hugh McAllister battling it out further back in the pack, with Craig Harris managed to spin it around. 10K also was a victim of that incident. There was Jarvis out in front, showing a clean set of heels. And then with 2 laps to go, Jarvis struck dramas. You can see Harris go through and he pulled up between corners 5 and 6. As it turned out, an alternator problem. Craig Harris come through, was our race winner. Cameron Sendell in second, Hugh McAllister in third.
What an amazing race. It was action aplenty. I think I probably won by nutrition, but I'm happy to take the win anyway.
I had to be up the pointy end there to have a chance anyway. You were contending well anyway, but it was all happening around you.
Yeah, it was. You know, the track's pretty slippery, and you've only got to sort of have a bit of a lose, and you can lose 4 or 5 places, as we can see. You know, and Russie had a big dive down the inside going into turn 6, and I was on the edge going in as it was. I don't know how the hell he thought he was going to pull it up. But anyway, we're lucky we didn't hit, and we're able to get on and keep racing.
Yeah, plenty of close calls out there, mate. A little bit of debris out there on the track the cars were bringing on too. That added to the fun.
Yeah, well, when Huey had a fall off between 4 and 5, you know, he put a whole heap of mud on, and unfortunately I went down the inside of him to miss him, and he got a bit sideways and we touched. But, you know, that's racing. You know, when you're running cars like this that are running so close together and the cars are all very much the same spec, it comes down to who's going to drive them hard and the luck of the day.
All right, here in the sheds with Cameron Sandel, mate, second in that race, fresh off your third from Winton. You're on a bit of a roll.
Yeah, mate, on a bit of a roll. Pretty fortunate that race. It was pretty tough with 12 lapper and very slidey. But yeah, no, it was good fun. Watch a bit of action in front of me. I was having a bit of a laugh with my helmet. But yeah, just kept me wits about me, and thankfully finished the race in second spot. So very happy with the car.
So the race 2 action in car view there, Darren Berry. And everyone nice and clean through the first few corners, but all eyes were on Ashley Jarvis. So he come from the back of the pack after his race 1 DNF. Turned out just to be a wire to the back of the alternator. So it can be the smallest part that can bring you down at times. Russell Wright here making a move underneath Cameron Sendel going into 4 to take a second position. And then Hugh McAllister was all over the bumper of Sendel. And Jarvis still marching from the back of the pack up under inside of Willis there, and then as predicted the rain started to hit. You could see it on the windscreen of the races there. A few of the guys started to slide around as Crutcher got up underside of Jarvis there. So Harris out in front, right. You can see the rain on the screen there, and the guys are really starting to struggle. In fact, it was Craig Harris, race leader, spinning into turn 1, and Russell Wright did well to miss him. Harris did well to recover, but gave up the lead. And as you can see, the rain really started to come down. Now we're in car vision here from Darren Berry's car as Hugh McAllister spins in front of him, and Berry goes in with him as well, both in the sand trap into turn 6. Sendel closes in on Harris. Harris spins again, coming on to the front straight. Sendel says thank you very much, McAllister, and Jarvis fought it out at the end, and it was actually Ashley Jarvis got up the inside, or the outside I should say, of McAllister. But our race winner was Russell Wright and Ashley Jarvis all the way up to second. So that was Sunday roll around the Performax C7 Corvette. Front of the field at the formation lap as we went into race 3 start here. Don Dimitriadis in car there, and given a little bit of a nudge there for Sendel, and Jarvis had to serve a drive-through penalty for jumping the rolling start. That affected him. He moved towards the back of the pack. Out the front it was Russell Wright. Harris up the inside of a Sendel here for second position. 10K didn't have the best of weekends, got through Willis on Willis there, and Kulig and Crutcher fought it out, one back from 10K. Sendel was doing well until he spun it coming out of turn 2, and it was pedal to the metal there as he tried to get that one back on track. But it was Russell Wright, Craig Harris, Hugh McAllister for race 3. So we move to race 4 action, the final race for the weekend, and once again Russell Wright and Craig Harris fighting it out at the front. Hugh McAllister giving one up to Dad, Ian McAllister there. Jarvis and Sendel fighting it out further back in the pack. 4, 5 and 6. Sendel wasn't going to give it up easy. And build with Anthony Tenkate here on the back of it, Don Dimitriadis. And they fought it out for a couple of laps, trading positions, but once again out in front it was Russell Wright and Craig Harris. And that meant again, Russell Wright in the Road Bees Transport Mustang took the race win. Harris in second, and Ian McAllister this time round in third. Alright, round 2 all done and dusted here at Queensland Raceway. Our third place getter for the round and new championship leader Hugh McAllister. Mate, how about that one? That's fantastic. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, Shannon. Look, I was a bit of a surprise coming out on top at the end. I think it's just the way this point system works. If you're consistent, try and stay in the top 3. If you have a DNF, it really costs you. So I'll enjoy that for the next 6 weeks till the next round, that's for sure.
Mate, congrats. What do we got? Looking forward to the next one here, I guess, at Sydney Motorsport Park.
Yeah, Muscle Car Masters, can't wait for that. Really enjoyed it last year, so looking forward to getting back there again. I like that track a bit more, so this was one of my favourite tracks, but yeah, really looking forward to it.
All right, so second place here to here in round 2, Craig Harris. Fantastic weekend, mate. Russell Ryder, he just showed you a clean set of heels towards the end there, but you hung in there, mate. You were right there all weekend.
Yeah, mate, for an old bloke, he's very quick, isn't he? Really, Russell's done a great job. He's a good driver, and I've watched him over the years, and I sort of helped him to come into this series. Now I sort of maybe regret that, but anyway, it's good to have someone pushing you all the way, and that's what Russell did. He pushed me, and I just couldn't get up with him in that last race.
Longer races this weekend, maybe saw 12 lap races instead of 10. I mean, that made a bit of a difference in the mindset, I guess.
Well, I didn't mind. I like the longer races because I get into a groove and you just sort of keep cruising around, and normally my lap times stay pretty much the same over the race. But it was a really good effort, and Mark McLaughlin from Power Talk Engines done a fantastic job helping prepare my car this weekend, so I'd really like to appreciate him. And his daughter, who came out yesterday and cleaned the car down when Huey went off and threw mud all over it, so she had an hour and a half job. I don't think she's ever washed the car before. She did a great job though.
Well, mate, fantastic result this weekend. We'll see you in Sydney.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
All right, our round winner, Russell White. Mate, fantastic this weekend. Got to be impressed. Obviously, after the first race, not so well, but come along in the last 3, showed a clean set of heels all weekend.
Yeah, I pretty much made a mess of the first weekend. We had, or first race this weekend. Our settings weren't quite right on the car, and it was locking the rears. So under threshold, deep threshold braking, it was looping around. So had a couple of spins, but recovered back to 6th. So then had to fight from 6th back up and had a win in the second race. There was a bit of water around that stage, and that sort of helped, I think. Plus the fact that Ashley had he had an unfortunate weekend in the sense, actually Jarvis, in the sense that he had a DNF in the first race, and so that sort of put him back. And I think it would have been a different weekend had he not had that problem in the first race. But we'll take it while we can get it. And I was really, really happy the fact that I can hang on for 3 wins in the last 3 races. The car, a little tweak that we did to the car, made it a lot easier to drive. It wasn't really any faster, but it was more stable under deep braking. So in the end, we had a great win, and really, really happy with the weekend. I'd like to thank Road Bees Transport, my sponsor, for helping me to be here, and the TA2 boys, the other drivers. I think it was a successful weekend. It's good to see the series growing, and I think every round we go to, it's just getting better and better, and by the same token, harder and harder to stay in front.
So as you said, mate, would have pulled a few points back on Ashley this weekend. So going into the championship next round, looking good.
Yeah, look, I think I might be up to 2nd place in the championship now. So as Hugh was doing, I've just got to consolidate. Hugh will be now on top. So just be making sure finish every race up towards the front, but you've got to get a finish. If you miss a couple of races, you're never going to catch it up.
All right, mate, all the best. We'll see you in Sydney for the next one.
Good stuff. Thank you. Well done.
All right, fantastic weekend here at Queensland Raceway for round 2 of the Performax TA2 Muscle Car Series. We saw a bit of everything this weekend, Craig.
We did, and we saw a couple of veterans rise to the top. What a great weekend for Russell Wright. He took out the round from Craig Harris. Ashley Jarvis jumped into a different car this weekend, put it on pole position, so he proved that there's plenty of pace in the Dodge. There's nothing wrong with it, but jumped the start in race 2, and then of course got a 30-second drive-through penalty, which dropped him down.
Yeah, not the best result for him, but what it has done, I mean, it's really mixed up the championship. We got Hugh McAllister now on top, coming out of this one.
Yeah, he finished 3rd for the weekend. A good round for Hugh. His father beat him in the last race, which was nice to see. But old Macca's still got plenty of pace in him. But yeah, Hugh will come out of this round 20 points clear of Ashley Jarvis as the new series leader.
So fantastic round here at Queensland Raceway for round 2. Next round we go to Sydney Motorsport Park. Looking forward to that one, Craig.
Yeah, TA2 Muscle Cars at the Muscle Car Masters. Doesn't get any better than that. Sydney Motorsport Park, June 8, 9, 10. Want to see you there.